Over the weekend, a lot of folks were chatting about an essay from ex-Googler Steve Yegge, who lambasted Google's approach to deprecation on its cloud APIs. Given the cascade of responses, this seems to have resonated with a ton of people. Yegge describes a nightmare scenario of working on projects only to get notices like this from Google Cloud. We are writing to remind you that we are sunsetting. Insert important service you are using here, as of August 2020, after which you will not be able to perform any updates or upgrades on your instances. We encourage you to upgrade to the latest version, which is in beta, has no documentation, no migration path, and which we have kindly deprecated in advance for you. We are committed to ensuring that all developers of Google Cloud Platform are minimally disrupted by this change. Now, quoting from Yegge's rant/essay, quote, "In the Google world, deprecation means we are breaking our commitments to you. It really does. That's what it ultimately means, at least. It means they are going to force you to do some work, possibly a large amount of rework, on a regular basis as punishment for doing what they told you to do originally, as punishment for listening to their glossy marketing on their website. Better software, faster, you do everything they tell you to do, and you launch your application or service, and then bang, a year or two later it breaks down. This is like selling you a used car that they know is going to break down in under 1,000 miles. Google's definition of deprecation reeks of planned obsolescence. I don't believe that it's actually planned obsolescence in the same sense that, say, Apple perpetrates, but Google definitely plans to break your stuff in a roundabout way. I know because I worked there as a software engineer for 12 plus years. They have loose internal guidelines about how much backwards compatibility to bake into service offerings, but in the end, it's up to each individual team or service. There are no corporate level or engineering level guidelines, and the longest anyone has the courage to recommend in terms of deprecation cycles is try to give your customers 6 to 12 months to upgrade before you drape them over a barrel. This is hurting them far more than they realize, and it will continue to hurt them for years to come because it's not part of their DNA to care about customers. The thing is, every single developer has choices, and if you make them rewrite their code enough times, some of those other choices are going to start looking mighty appealing. Developers are not your hostages as much as you'd like them to be. They are your guests, end quote. And I thought that Google was just flaky on their mass consumer-facing services. Anyway, if this rings true to you, I recommend checking out the essay because there's a lot of swearing and a lot of rending of garments in there, so could be cathartic to read for some of you devs.